Last week, I set up an experiment to notice what would lead me to using social media, the circumstances that were set up and eventually led me to using the phone. My experiment wasn't perfect, but I found a couple of things that might be applicable in your life. I wanted to fully understand what was leading me to grabbing my phone without even giving consent and just scrolling hours and hours on end. Here's what I found out. For the better part of the week, I noticed that I never gave explicit consent to myself to just go ahead and indulge into phone usage. It just happened at random, and not really at random per se, but it would happen without me realizing it. It was very rare for me to decide, okay, I'm going to use my phone right now and I'm going to scroll on social media for 10 minutes and actually do it. The most common thing was just me grabbing the phone and scrolling on end and then realizing, wow, I was supposed to have been doing something before. I realized that I reached out to my phone when I was under stressful conditions. For example, if I had to have a talk with someone that was important, if I had to plan the future, if I had to go into work or something that required my attention. This is because it would ease the stress in my mind. I would go from stressing out about a task that I had to do to forgetting about it for a little bit and feeling better about myself. This was very short-lived because once I realized that I still had to do the task that I needed to do, I would start feeling worse about myself for spending time on social media instead of starting with the task. I was using my phone for stress control. This was more of a reflex. It wasn't really a choice that I made. Throughout the week, I realized that I am not equipped at handling stress. I haven't developed the mechanisms, the ability to. I haven't read books on stress management. So I needed to put a lot of effort into managing stress in order to avoid using social media as cover to deal with anxiety or stress. In the future videos, I will tell you what I have discovered that works when it comes to stress management. Maybe you can apply those things in your life too. I also realized that I was using my phone because people around me were using their phones a lot. When I would be at work and there would be some downtime and I would turn around, everybody would have their phones on and would just be watching videos, laughing. It's kind of weird, when you are around people and they're laughing at their phones, not engaging or talking to each other. It's dystopian if you think about it. Sometimes I see people who are so entrenched in their phones. It makes me feel a little bit better about myself, but to be honest, I'm not any better. It's just that in that moment, I'm noticing that some people are going through it worse than me, but I haven't dealt with it either way, so we're in the same boat. I also realized that if I plan the future and actually have written goals, I would feel more at ease than how I am living, which is just living day to day, making decisions as they come, and just living as the day comes, which is not a good way because you cannot live like that and expect to have an amazing future if you don't have goals written or set somewhere, especially written. Writing is very powerful. If you write something down, I feel like it reinforces your ability to do it. The fact that I don't have any written goals is alarming, and that is probably why I haven't been able to strongly go against using my phone, because I don't have any goals set, realistically speaking. I do have them set, but in my mind, which is not as good as writing them down where you can see them. So that's something that I noticed as well. I reached out to my phone when I was bored. I reached out mindlessly to fill in the gaps. I reached out to my phone mindlessly to pass time when I knew that I had so many things to do. Using the phone is not going to require me to do anything. It's so much easier than actually pursuing the tasks that I have to do. If I was feeling hurt or sad, I would reach out to my phone to watch comedy videos that would make me laugh, which is healthy, but I could be doing other things that can be more beneficial to me than using the phone to mask, or you can say deal with the pain. So this week, I'm going to keep watching, but I'm going to watch the feeling instead of the hand. The hand might be too fast to reach out for the phone, but maybe I can catch the little few seconds before I reach out to the phone and ask myself, why am I doing this? If I can learn to notice that, then maybe within the half a second that I have to make a choice, I can make the better choice to fill in the space or the gap with something more useful for the future than grabbing my phone or reaching out to the phone. Now, I don't know if it's going to work, but I will update you next time.